Hi guys, welcome to Business Reviews. Today we're going to be Real Estate Ralph again. This channel is all about making you financially smarter. Welcome to the investment decision. This part we'll call Rent or Wait. If you are thinking about leasing or waiting, this is a video for you. If not, you might learn from the thought process on how to evaluate your property, if you're gonna sell out your furniture, what you should do in terms of pricing, and who should shoulder the changes that are expected by the potential lease. We're also gonna price in sentimentality. I connected with one of my friends. He had a passive condominium. He was talking to me about having to Airbnb it or rent it. And I'm gonna give you context on what's happening. And I'd like to know what you think. And I'd also share what I think on how you should be valuing, help you decide based on the situation. This is the context. Situation is, he's not here regularly, he's working abroad. He intends to live there when he's older. The apartment is fully furnished. It's located somewhere near some call centers, but it seems like the call center agents or managers don't want this particular property because it's for a family and people would want to be closer to their work as opposed to, having a bigger space and have to travel. Plus, he doesn't have a parking spot when he bought it. In this situation, there was one potential leasee who bargained for a lower price in terms of the rent. It was like 3,000 lower per month. This couple of elderly people did not want to issue post-dated checks. Seems like they're getting money from their son who's working in the United States. So the proof they showed was just a remittance that money was being sent. This previous potential lessees, potential customers, were actually from the same unit compound condominium set. The thing is, they were kicked out, but they were lived there for like 7 years. On top of negotiating for a price, the potential customers are actually wanting that the unit is bare for the reasons that they have sentimental value for their material. Let's say their tables or whatever. Kain tayo. Laksa from Question is then, will you, as a lessor, lease out this property that you have for this person who wants a cheaper price, cannot provide post-dated checks, and wants a different arrangement for the house? We'll put a poll here. Click like if you think you should wait, or click dislike if you think they should sell. I'm a very risk-averse person, so I would rather wait. I told him to advertise it to BPO agents, but he said, for those same reasons, they aren't renting there. So the next target market would be families. If it is for family size, then he should target parents-teachers associations or schools that are nearby. How do I decide? It's always hard to decide if you don't have a basis for deciding. In this case, this was the biggest factor that I considered because he's not here. The time that you need to follow up with your potential buyers of your furniture, or if you're gonna scrap all of them. So we evaluated his furniture at around 60,000. You're gonna sell it probably at half the price, plus the time you're gonna spend to sell it. That's a problem. If he's not here, he doesn't have somebody here, or he will have somebody who will keep on asking him on the price. Can we go down this much with this furniture? And he's not like that. He gets more from his time. I advised him that if you are going to sell it, you should bake in the expense of selling the furniture and the cost of selling the furniture, including your time. And you should factor that in with the sentimentality. Sentimentality has a price. It's something that's valued by the buyer. In fact, it favors the person who is offering to rent out his place to just keep it as is because there will be less effort to do that. If there's something that the potential buyer values, they should pay for that. So how do you put a price on it? Let's say you sell all of your furniture at half the price, 30,000. Plus you're gonna calculate for the annual, let's say you're renting out for an annual of 3,000 less. So the total expense would be around 30,000 plus 3,000 times 12. So that's your total loss so far. On top of that, you'd have to calculate for how much time you spent, how much your time is, and the effort. There is a misconception that people who rent, when they see furniture there and they want something that's more bare, they think it's cheaper. It's actually an expense. You should bargain for a higher price. On top of this, one of the things that worries me the most is there is a lack of credibility when it comes to liquidity. One, why were they kicked out? You don't need to find out, but you'd not be wanting to be on the other end of the spectrum where you are receiving the loss of somebody who lost something. If they did not have ability to get checks, they're not liquid, and somebody has not passed them through credit risk analysis, you don't have to be a credit analyst. You can take it word from bank. They don't have money. They can't issue checks. That's a problem. Another thing with checks, if the son of the potential lessee gives a post-dated checks, it's a US check. Even if you did have the checks and it bounces, so Philippines is not that of a powerhouse to demand that. And actually that is a loss for you when you accept post-dated checks. So even if you have ING who has banks that you can encash checks from the app without going to the branch, there's no legal ability to chase. If it was a Philippine check, then it would be, you'd have that ability. That's why you want multiple banks as well. Unless you're in this for charity, then go ahead, lease that out. But the case is, we're looking at it as a business. Also, let's consider price of sentimentality. Are they really wanting to keep that coffee table for that much? If they were, then they should shoulder the expense of having that coffee table moved or whatnot to their place. Sometimes business is ruthless because these people are old, but if your goal is business or help, that's a decision you need to make early. Because if you're in here to help people, then you should go for charity, not a business. Let's do some mukbang. Those are my thoughts on liquidity, sentimentality, the opportunity cost of loss and of selling, and how much you should bake that into your price. In fact, you should have priced it higher than what the potential VC is wanting to, and split that out across 12 months. I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you for watching.